Hey guys, Jim here. I wanted to give you guys a video update on my e-scooter experience so far, some of the lessons I've learned, some of the modifications I've made, and whether or not I still enjoy this ride. This has kind of become like my Millennium Falcon of scooters, and I have done a lot of modifications on this. I've undone some modifications, I've redone them, I've made some changes. I'll walk through them. They're all mostly cosmetic. However, keep in mind that I use this a lot different than other people. I don't take this out to work. This is purely a recreational device for me, and I'm gonna guess I've probably got close to, man, I'm gonna say probably close to 1,000 miles now if I had to do the math. I'd say between 750 and 1,000 miles, and I'm still plugging along and still having a blast. A couple things, some changes I made, and I did independent videos on these, but I'll walk through them again so you can see everything. First and foremost is I did install matching rear view mirrors on the left and right. They are mounted directly to the stock handlebar. I love this style of rear view mirror because the field of view is massive. And when you're sitting down and you're riding, man, you can see everything behind you with really good clarity. They're really wide. I really like these. I recommend getting a pair of these at a minimum, get yourself one on your left side, because as you know, you're mostly gonna be on the right side of the road and you wanna be able to see everything behind you. Highly recommend these. I also went ahead and I got a handlebar extender. I made some modifications to it. Since you saw this last time, I've actually bolted through the plastic here onto this. This is completely locked. It was pretty secure before, but the problem I had was over time, especially here in downtown, there are a lot of cobblestone streets. And let me tell you that, boy, oh boy, this thing, these pavers, it just shakes this thing loose. Even so much so that this mirror has actually gotten a little loose. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out a way to tighten this bolt in here a little bit more, because even when I'm driving, the mirror starts doing stuff like this and it's kind of annoying. But what I was gonna say was the handlebar extender here is really nice, because I still haven't gotten a GoPro. I really want to get one, but man, are they expensive. So if you're watching this and you're a reviewer and you got a good recommendation on a action camera, let me know. I want one. I really want one. I'd love to mount a GoPro here and record some of my journeys for you guys. But I did get a cheap camera mount here. It works pretty well. As you can see, my big problem right now is it slides, and it's not actually the clip on the bar, it's the bar on the ring. So I'm gonna have to get some glue and lock this in place, and then this will be a lot more secure. But I made that modification. I went ahead and I bought a pair of saddlebags, and I went ahead and, using some very rudimentary molly rail stuff on the back, I did go ahead and bolt this in, which is super nice. I keep my journal in here, I keep my water in here, I keep my car keys in here, or my house keys rather. It's super convenient, and the fact that it's contained helps a ton. It leaves the basket open because I do make frequent visits to the local barbecue joint, and I will bring food home. And when I do, I can just fit it right in there, and it doesn't take up any room, and it works out really well. And additionally, if it's like super sweaty outside and my water bottle starts to sweat really bad, the way I did the straps, I can actually slide my water bottle in right here, and it holds it in place, and it doesn't rattle around, which is really nice. The big problem I had with this bike, and I have since fixed it, is actually in the rear fender. So you'll notice my rear fender is actually pretty janky. It actually sits up really high. On my model, and yours may be the same, I don't know, but there was a bolt right through here that held in a bracket that went across here. And this bolt came loose, and where my finger is on the bottom side, it started rubbing on the bottom of the tire. I noticed it initially when I was driving around. I started to feel, okay, so this thing doesn't coast as well as a bicycle. Obviously, it's got a motor on it. When you let off the throttle, it does start to kind of cool off a little bit, and it does have a little bit of a drag on it. But you could hear this drag. It was like almost like a grinding sound. So I was looking at it. I was trying to figure out, like, what's the rubbing? I was checking the spacing on the front. I re-greased all the wheels. I checked all the brakes, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is there a nasty snag here? It was that bolt. I couldn't get this bracket off. I actually had to saw the bolt. You could see where I actually took a pair of freaking, I took a shaver, and I basically had to cut this piece off. Well, when I did that, of course, this thing starts to sag down, and ultimately I was getting this, this whole thing just collapsed down. So very jankily, I took a tie wrap, and it's just sitting in here loose, but it lifts it up off the ground. And now you can see my rear fender sits significantly higher than it should. It's kind of dumb looking, but honestly, I don't care. It's functional and it works. If I had to do it again, since the back end is already assembled, unfortunately, at least this model was completely assembled by the time I got it, I would just probably, I don't know if I could do anything different. I guess if you really wanted to be cute about it, you could take the back tire off, but that's a pain in the butt because this, with all the gearing and everything, because that's where a lot of the drive comes from, I'm not really sure what I would do. But be mindful of that. If you see any or feel any friction or rubbing on any of your e-scooters, yes, you will be able to power over it. It's a powerful motor. 750 watt motor is no joke. It's super lightweight. I am now super lightweight. So as a result, this thing moves pretty good. You can power through just about anything. Even if you lock both brakes, you can still kind of brake torque it and break it loose a little bit. So be mindful of that. If you feel any rubbing or any kind of friction, you need to get on that immediately, because that is unnecessary tire wear and it's super, super unsafe. And then the last thing, and I had a lot of questions on these, I did install a pair of like highway pegs, which are awesome. I wish they were black, but whatever. Like I said, this is kind of like my project bike, because I find new things to play with and mount and try new brackets. You know, I'm all for it. I think my next step is probably going to be, I'd like to get probably some sort of bracket on the front for a little bit more storage, especially when I go get food orders. Especially like when I go places, I'll get something for me and my wife, and I usually have to kind of be creative on how I bring the bag home. So I think putting some sort of basket or something here, there's a lot of room here and it's kind of open. I think that would probably be a good idea. And it wouldn't really get in the way of anything either. I mean, it might reduce a little bit of the battery life, but again, for me, you know, I use it different than a lot of other people. Last thing I'll say, I do recommend you fully charge this thing before you take it out. I've had 2 instances where I've had to walk it home, and let me tell you, it sucks. It is portable and foldable enough. I did take it to the West Orange Trail twice. I loved it. Those were massive, massive commutes. I actually had to stop halfway and charge before I came home. Those are like 50-mile, basically 40 to 50-mile trips, just through basically a dedicated bike lane, which was amazingly cool. But you know, it travels well enough if you want it to. It's heavy though, that's the only thing. It's kind of bulky when you're trying to fit it, especially in the back of my Bronco. It's kind of difficult to squeeze it in there, but I have absolutely no regrets about this thing and I love it. I've seen a lot of other models, not just this specific model, at Best Buy and at Walmart. You can pick them up for anywhere from, I'd say, $400 to $700 with varying features. The one thing I would absolutely recommend is make sure you get one that has the absolute biggest plate here as possible. You can still put highway pegs on, and hopefully yours has a mount system for them. If not, that might be a deal breaker, honestly. I gotta admit, on long cruises, it is nice to spread out and cruise, and boy, does it feel good. Sitting with your legs and your knees locked together on that plate kind of sucks. There are other workarounds for that, but the pegs are amazing. I would say that's the single best comfort thing I've gotten on any bicycle I own or any scooter I've ever ridden. Second being, of course, a safety of the rear view mirrors. But just wanted to give a quick update. I haven't done a lot of e-bike stuff on my channel, but I am still a very, very active member of the Orlando e-bike community. I'm out quite a bit. I made a lot of new friends and seen a lot of ducks, a lot of geese, and a lot of swans and squirrels, and boy, is it fun. But man, I just want to say, you know, if you're even remotely interested, there is no better time than now to jump into this. These things are becoming significantly cheaper. Their maintenance on them is practically nothing. I don't know if they're quite throwaways yet. I haven't had to go through a massive tire repair. But man, oh man, it is a ton of fun to ride, and enjoy that wind therapy. All right. Hey, wanted to wrap up this video. If you got any questions, sound off below. I'm shocked that my other e-bike video has done so well. So if that traffic led you here, welcome. If the traffic from here is going to lead you to the other one, I'll post a link to that in the description below. While you're down there, please consider subscribing to the channel. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.